So, Jared, tell me about your morning. I know your morning might have had a little bit of a hiccup. You woke up, you got ready, you got rolling, you got out the door, then you had to turn around.
Yeah, so wake up, just a normal, regular marathon morning, just asking myself why I'm doing this again. But I have to say, yeah, so we had to be at the buses because I was with the adaptive athletes and the para athletes. So I got to ride a nice coach bus with them. But the kicker was you had to be there at 5:30 in the morning, so an hour before everyone else.
Oh.
But well worth it, well worth being, well worth it more so than riding in those school buses. But so the buses were at the Sheraton. It was about a mile away from where I was staying at. So it's like 5:15 in the morning. We're walking, and we get almost to the buses. So we're about almost a mile away from the hotel I was at, and I realized my wrist felt kind of light, and I'm like, this I just
Oh
does it. It's like it feels
no.
real airy. Like what's going on here? And I looked down, and I realized I don't have my watch. And so I was like,
No.
"Oh no!" I was like, "Oh no!" And so then I'm constantly I'm thinking, what do I do? Like, well, I can take my phone, but I was like, in true runner fashion, I mean, you got to have your watch.
Mhm.
It's a must. You got to have your watch, and you got to do what you got to do to get it. So I talked to Jordan. She's like, just go back and get it, and just you're gonna have to hurry your butt to get back here. So I was like, okay, mind you, I wasn't wearing my running shoes. I was wearing UFO sandals.
Oh.
I was wearing UFO
Oh.
sandals.
Shout
So
out
I
to
was, yeah,
UFOs.
Shout
shout out
out
to
to
UFOs.
UFOs.
So I immediately just turn around and I send it. I mean, I ran about a mile all the way back to the hotel. Everybody's looking at me like I'm kind of crazy, like I'm probably like an elite trying to get, my morning miles in, but I was not. And so I get all the way back up to the hotel. I run up there to my room, get my watch, get back down, and I run almost a mile all the way back. So by that time, I've got like 2.5 miles in, and I'm like, looks like I'm doing an ultra today,
Yes,
So,
yes.
but those sandals felt really good. I was like, I could probably run a marathon in those sandals legitimately. Like those were comfy. And if there was no one on the streets, so I just booked it all the way
UFOs
down the streets again.
slippers.
Yeah, people were looking at me crazy, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the watch. It's all about the
Yep,
watch
yep,
game.
yep.
So,
Yes.
uh, so yeah, so we make it onto the bus. We're going there. And so this little story will go like with the podcast name. So I just knew all morning, you gotta do what you gotta go poop in the morning. Yep. So that's my
Mhm.
thing. I gotta go in the morning before the start line. Gotta go in the morning before the start line. I didn't go yet, so I'm like freaking out on the bus. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I was like, well, I guess I'll just go to Porta John, and I hope it comes
Yep.
in. So I'm on the bus. We get to Hopkinton. Of course, all the buses are like in a bus jam. Well, of course it kicks in. Of course it kicks in. That's when I
Oh
need to go,
no.
right? That's when I need to go. And I'm sitting there and I'm kind of fighting urge, because you got anxiety going on. I have some coffee in me, and none of that helped. So I'm like we just got to get to the tent. We got to get to the tent, but the bus isn't moving. So I was like, I turn around, see the bathroom back there, and I was like, well, this will be another story for the grandkids. This will be another story. It's gonna be a memorable one. So I go back there, I shut the door, I sit down, I'm doing my thing, and of course, the buses start back up and start moving. So now the bus, when it starts up, it's like shaking. So there I am. I got my hands out, and I'm shaking. So at this point, I'm just trying to pinch it off, wipe, and get out of there without nothing going on. And of course, those coach buses seats are tiny. I'm a big guy, so I barely fit in there, and it seems like they're only like an inch deep. So now I'm worried about it like touching me and stuff. And so again, we're bouncing around. And so finally, I pinch it off, I wipe, and I get out of there. And literally, the whole bus is like, like laughing at me and all everything. I'm like, well, again, like I said, I was like, well, it's a story for the grandkids. I feel a little bit lighter. We're good to go. So, so yeah, that was a solid little story there. But we get over to the tents, and so I was blessed enough to be in an adaptive para athlete tent, and we were right next to elites, all next to elites in their tent, which I didn't know until like start. So I'll have to know that for like next year or a further year. But that tent was like amazing. It was super close to the start, so you didn't have to do the walk. They literally just
Good.
walk you right around the fence right there, and they put us in the back of wave one. So we didn't have to worry about people rushing, running past us for a long time. So it was awesome, and just being in that tent was so humbling. Because I still get imposter syndrome, being that I wasn't born with a disability, but now I do, and being that I can run pretty fast, I'm pretty active. I get imposter syndrome a lot. I really do, and so being amongst all these other adaptive athletes and para athletes, it was a very humbling experience. Just made me more grateful, more thankful, and just really kind of narrowed me and zoned me back in. It took all the anxiety away. I started chatting with people because I love hearing their stories. And so it was like it was such a blessing to kind of be there with them. And again, I a lot of times I run because I don't know how much longer I'll have this leg. If who knows. And again, almost died, and I just know it's a blessing every day to wake up. It's a blessing every day to run. And there's people that don't wake up, and there's people that can't run, and that is just like Ali said, and like and Mo talked about too. It's that exact thing. I got to run. So meeting all them and hearing them stories, now it just pumped me up, it zoned me in, because now like I'm running, I want to run for them, because now that's my community. Like that is my
Mm-hmm.
community now, and it's my family. So hearing their stories, I was like, all right, hard charging, and I was like, let's go out there and get after it. And yeah, just again, it was kind of cool starting right behind the wave right there in wave one. And it was kind of it was amazing. I had a really good, it was a good run, it was a great day, and it was cool. Like it was like waves, they call them waves. And so when you're running, there was like 3-4 miles where there was nobody around us, so it's cool. It was
Mm-hmm.
just us and like the para athletes, adaptive athletes, but we're all spaced out because we're all different paces. And then all of a sudden, like mile 6 or 7, the wave of like wave two comes, and everybody's running around you, running by you. And it was just like such a cool feeling. I can't explain it, but usually you're fighting in between people to get through those first couple miles. But it was kind of cool just taking my time, running my race, and letting everybody else kind of. Wave two came, and then wave three came, and I kept on telling myself, well, we're not going to let wave two pass us, well, we're not going to, no, we're not going to let wave three pass us, and just kept on doing that. But yeah, I had a really blessed morning. It was a great run, and I was very happy to see you guys at mile 19. I totally forgot you were going to even be out there, and so when you got a hold of me, I was like, whoa, I was so excited. And then yeah, so thank you for being out there. I was so pumped to see you guys. Perfect timing.
It
Well,
was
let's
our
go there.
pleasure.
Let's let
Trust me. Yeah.
let's go to mile 19 right now. Let's go to it. Hold on here. You ready?
Yes, buddy! What's up, dude? He's amazing. You should hear his story. Which one is he? Jared.
So I don't know if you could hear it, but I was in the background there saying, he's amazing. He's amazing. You have to hear his story. And my brother was there. So my brother flew in from California for other reasons. And he's like, I'm going to go to the marathon. So he says like, oh, I support the pod and everything, but he doesn't listen. And one of our friends there was like talking about the pod. And Alex was like, oh, you should get this guy or that guy. And it's like, we did. And she goes, I don't think you listened to your brother's podcast. So we were talking to him about a few people who've been on the pod. And when you came by, I was like, you need to listen to his. He's amazing. His story is amazing. And that was me telling my brother how amazing you are. But you came by us at mile 19. It looked like you knew you were what you were going to expect that we were there, because you were on the correct side of the road. You gave us the lineup of high fives. That was a lot of fun, man. You look good too.
Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, like I said, it was. I faked it till I made it. You guys were, like I said, I kind of forgot, but the blessing of that whole run was there were so many people that said that they were going to be there and cheer for me and support me. And typically, in a one like that big, I usually either get in a zone or miss somebody, and I saw everybody. I mean, I saw everybody, man. It was such an awesome day. But yeah, seeing you guys, that was fantastic. And yeah, you kind of surprised me, but I had enough space, so I ran over, and we were I was trying to get a sub 4 going, because there was two major goals there. There was trying to get my friend Jordan to a PR, which was anything better than a 4:11. And of course, with me trying to run the 50 states, I'm also side quest trying to run them all in a sub-4. So my backup goal was always sub-4. And so I was kind of pushing that, and it was kind of close. At that time, the hills were kind of hitting us and kind of bogging us down. And so I knew that it was going to be kind of close. But I saw you guys, and I was like, I'm running over there, and I'm at least saying hi to them. And yeah, again, it was a very pleasant surprise, and perfect timing. It was right before the Heartbreak Hill and all of that. But yeah, I would have, if I really wasn't in some sort of hurry, I would have took a picture with you guys. But yeah, just
Well,
awesome.
we got the
We got
video.
the
so
video.
you're all
Time,
good.
man. You guys had that big old banner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was clutch, I think. I think it was clutch because a few people would run by and they'd hear their name. They'd be like, oh, hey, thank you. Oh, it's you. With the big ass on the run sign on the gate there.
Yeah, I was like, who's yelling my name?
It
Like,
was
come on.
Kay.
What a coincidence. Like, oh, on the runs. All right.
Yeah.
Those are my people right there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.